Are you seeing this story is getting more traction now than it has done ever?
Well, it's odd to me that the top two podcasts refuse to talk about the moon landing fraud, and they refuse to talk about this new information of an eyewitness. I mean, if I eyewitnessed somebody kill somebody, that would put him in jail. We have an eyewitness saying he eyewitnessed the moon landing fraud. He even said he murdered somebody to cover it up. Here's when it was filmed, where it was filmed. You'd think that would be at least worthy of discussion at least one time in the top two quote conspiracy podcasts in America. Haven't been invited on their show in months since my book came out. Not a single time. Now, why is that? It's called controlled opposition. It seems odd to me that you can have what appears to be independent media, but is it really? And because every true independent person they take down. I mean, the inventor of the medicine that everyone's been told to get for an illness they don't have, the inventor of it, you would think that he would be the number one guest on every news program in the world. ABC, NBC, CBS, Evening News would have him sitting right there in the studio talking about this medicine that everyone's taking that he invented. If he is interviewed and gives his honest opinion about it, they take it down. I mean, it boggles the mind. There is no independent media. And I don't see YouTube channels here and there, Rumble channels here and there making a difference, to be quite honest. We're talking about, okay, we got 5 mice fighting an elephant now instead of one. Oh, okay. Let's get 100 mice fighting the elephant. Let's get 1,000 mice fighting the elephant. I think it's going to take how many millions of mice, to beat an elephant, to all bite them at the same time, and that still might not work. The skin might be too thick. So you, they've got plans. I mean, they're already censoring more and more and justifying it in the name of public safety and so forth and so on. I uploaded a video privately, not even publicly, of my doctor saying that one of the potential remedies, and he's a medical authority, he has a degree in medicine. They took it down. They said no, only people with medically authorized narratives are allowed, but he's a doctor. I mean, it used to be, in fact, there used to be a public service announcement back when they made those mandatory, which they don't anymore, that said when one doctor gives you a suggestion you need to amputate your foot, get a second opinion. Very important. Now they it's like no second opinions. Do they not realize that if you take away statistically cancer and heart disease, that the number one cause of death in America is medical malpractice? It's an admitted fact. Medical malpractice is the number one killer of people in America after heart disease and cancer. And then if you have 70% of Americans taking prescription medicine, right? That means 70% of Americans are sick. So if there's a country in the world that has 70% of the population sick all the time, I would say that they have the worst health care in the world. And yet the politicians say we have the best health care in the world. How about that? They say we're the land of the free when we're the land of the slaves. Have to ask permission from your slave master to leave your house, to open your business. Do you realize they arrested people because they had 5 when the limit was 4 for a child's birthday party in California? They shut off the electricity of the house. How can that be legal? How can that be freedom?
The government in our country are having parties in 10 Downing Street whilst we can only be in a bubble of 4 people.
Yeah, I mean, who are they? Why are they better than us? Even if they didn't do that, let's just say they obeyed the rules too. Let's not even talk about that. Let's say they obeyed the rules. You can't have 4 more people in a house. Who are you to tell me that? It's my house. If you think that's good, if you don't want to have more than 4 people, then don't. But who are you to tell me halfway across town, halfway across the world, to what to do? I mean, if electricity can flow down a copper wire left to right, it can flow down right to left. So why not have bottom up government, right? Why does the neighborhood association have the right to tell a person they cannot put a garden in their front yard because it doesn't look good? It's not their property. They don't live on my property. It's my property. And if the resident association wants to have a gun-free zone in a city where guns are allowed, how can the mayor force them to change the rules? He doesn't live in their neighborhood. It should be the neighborhood association should have greater rights over the mayor. And then the governor who lives hundreds of kilometers away, shouldn't be able to tell the mayor what they can do or not do in their own town, right? And then the president shouldn't be able to tell the governor what they can do in their state. That doesn't make, you see, it's exactly backwards. The reason why it's top down is because that's the way it's always been from tyrants and kings. How is it any different now? It's not any different at all. And they're making it more authoritarian every minute. What about bottom up? What about instead of giving the banks $3 trillion for losing our money, it's like rewarding a criminal. I mean, come on, you killed somebody. Well, you get 2 guns as your prize, you know? And so why not give every person $20,000? And what would happen? They would go out and they would buy cars and they would buy washers and dryer, which would trickle up to the trillionaires, you see? So we need to reverse this. We need to have the property owner supremacy, then the resident association, then the mayor, then the governor. The mayor is supreme over the city, not the governor, you see? And if you start thinking about it, do we even really need a federal government? Why not have the independent states of America? Right? I mean, who is this entity far away that won't put a label on ketchup that says GMO and 90% of their people want it? They still will not make it a law. Why do we need them? Why do we need such people like that who won't do what 90% of the people are asking them to do? What would even happen if we got rid of them? We absolved them. We don't have them. Would the world fall apart? What about if a federal park is in your state, it's just now a state park? You know, what if a military base that happens to be in Texas is now part of the Texas National Guard? You know, what would happen? Would the world collapse? Would the ceiling fall? You know, I don't think anything would happen. It doesn't make any sense that we have a federal. I don't know any good that they're doing at all. Why not have all the states vote whether to go to war or not based on a cabinet of the leaders of their various army reserves? Why don't they decide as a group whether we're going to send our people from our state into this war? I don't understand why they're mad at Putin for defending his border when we fly halfway around the world to kick people out of Iraq. I don't understand that. Somehow the UN says okay on that one, but down on a guy defending his own border. You know, what is that all about? Because the US is blackmailing everybody, bribing everybody. You know, it's pretty pathetic. What can you do? Save yourself from the corrupt generation is what the book of Acts says, chapter 2. Because they will inherit the world and lose their soul. That's the price they're going to pay. Everybody else, all of their victims, will be living forever, and they will have gained the world and lost their soul. I don't hate these people. I feel sorry for them, right? We don't know how abused Bill Gates was as a kid with his parents being racist as they were, teaching him the racism. The guy's body language, you know, he talks like this. The guy is mentally ill. Only mentally ill people have that kind of body language. We need to feel sorry for the guy. You know what I mean? So what can you do?